Growing up, even from the youngest age, I have many treasured memories of Auntie Kath. I recall visiting her with my Nana Maureen. We would drink tea with nibblies while Nana and Auntie Kath played Scrabble and solved crossword puzzles. Auntie Kath had a passion for education and would use the hints within the crosswords to teach me new things, as well as lessons on etiquette, such as how to drink tea like a lady. I also have many vivid memories, such as the embroidered cushions that were always neatly placed on her couch, and the many glass items and photos displayed in her cabinets. Auntie Kath's displayed cabinet was mystical to me because it contained memories and treasures from her adventures past. Auntie Kath loved to tell me about her adventures around the world. In my older years, Auntie Kath instilled in me a hunger for knowledge. She would always be very eager to talk to me about my nursing. Just a month ago, I visited Auntie Kath, and despite her not being well, when I spoke of my nursing studies, her eyes brightened and she had many questions to ask me. I believe Auntie Kath led an amazing and adventurous life, and although I will miss her dearly, I am glad to know that now she is with my Nana Maureen. I'm now going to share some thoughts and memories from other family members. From Kath's niece, Carolyn. To me, Auntie Kath always seemed a daring, independent woman. She defied her dad's wishes and joined the Grail when she was quite young and lived a very different life from what was expected of a beautiful young lady of a certain social stature. Balls, kid gloves, and suitors were not enough for her. She was a true teacher, and she served in Africa, Papua New Guinea, and Australia, as well as working for the Grail in Europe. She was very patient but took no nonsense. She had a bank of facial expressions that any other teacher would envy. I remember one in particular. Her eyes would widen, she would pull her head back a little and just look at you. It was an expression of both disbelief and humour. Auntie Kath was funny. She taught me a lot about our family history. I still have some handwritten notes she wrote about her mother and her grandparents. She loved to tell the story of Big Kathleen, who was an innovator in special education in Queensland, and no doubt a role model to Auntie Kath as a young teacher. Kath said that one day some prisoners escaped from Boggo Road Jail and somehow ended up at Big Kathleen's school. The police were searching for them, and when they came to Big Kathleen's school, they asked if she'd seen them. She said that she had, but the prisoners couldn't leave until they'd finished painting the wall that they were working on. Auntie Kath also told me about Ellen O'Driscoll, our great-grandmother's sister, who came out from Ireland but several years later was admitted to Goodna Asylum, never to leave. It distressed Auntie Kath that she only had vague childhood memories of occasional picnics with Ellen. She regretted not knowing that Ellen was at Goodna and wished she could have visited and supported her. She felt great compassion for this woman she didn't really know, but towards whom she felt great love and loyalty because she was family. When I was in 6th grade, I travelled to Sydney for a holiday with Nana and Auntie Kath. We visited Kath's frail friends and had a wonderful time. One night I couldn't sleep, and Auntie Kath gave me a lesson that I have drawn on many times. She said, imagine your mind as a room. When a thought comes into your room, take a broom and sweep it out so that your room is empty. When another thought comes in, take a broom and sweep it out and just keep sweeping. She taught us all the importance of education. I still remember when she completed her master's thesis, Magic in Strangers, a study of misfits in the Thea Astley novels in 1982. You can read this 396-page volume at the National Library in Canberra, or find it cited in other works. Auntie Kath was intelligent, brave, funny, and spirited. She's now free and finally reunited with her family, her sister, our beloved Maureen, her mother, of whom she cherished, her dad, Christopher, brother Michael, and a ton of others we have yet to meet. I miss you horribly already, Auntie Kath. From Auntie Kath's great niece, Nikki. It was not long ago that I would visit Auntie Kath and we would talk over tea and shortbread bickies. She spoke fondly of studying botany at university in Sydney. She loved botany. Auntie Kath believed strongly in the importance of education, and it was her support and encouragement that led me to return to study myself. I will always be grateful to her for that. From Auntie Kath's great niece, Becky. Dear Auntie Kath, I'm really going to miss you. You were such a loving, caring person, and I know how important and special family was to you. We have been really lucky to have had you as part of our lives. You have always encouraged me in life when it came to things like learning and my work. I used to love our weekly phone conversations we'd have. I'd tell you everything I was doing and planning, and we'd talk about the world and also family. Family was very important to you. I remember one Sunday, I was really busy and I forgot to call. You rang me up the following Wednesday sounding worried, just checking to make sure I was okay. You have been such a caring and loving auntie, and I will miss you daily. Love, Becky. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the nurses and carers at Villa LaSalle that have done such a wonderful job of taking care of Auntie Kath over the last several years. And I'd also like to thank Sister Faye for her lovely music. And now back to Lizzie briefly.